Hello and welcome. Today we have Dr. Navneet Kaur again with us. She is an international medical graduate. You can follow her on Twitter and Instagram. Her IDs are at Navi Kaur MD. I think therefore I am on Instagram and Fueled by Medicine. Today she'll be sharing with us and we'll have this information at the end of the interview as well. Please do watch, subscribe and like our channel. Dr. Kaur, you were instrumental in sharing your journey from medical school observership and residency as well. And you had some excellent tips about interview as well. So today, very focused. We want to not take too much time of you, but do you mind sharing some of those specific tips about interview trails and interview season for your medical residency? Please go ahead.
Right. So even prior to getting to the interview thing, one thing that I kind of wanted to touch on that I didn't get to in my last segment is your personal statement. Don't take that lightly. It is a very important part of your residency application. And I know it's hard to write. So start earlier on. Like if you're applying in September, start coming up with ideas in like January, February of what you're going to be writing about. You're going to have a lot of drafts, have multiple people look over it. I know writing about something personal, it's very vulnerable. So, I know it's hard to share, but the more people you share it with, the better feedback you'll get and the better it can get. Because your personal statement will stick out. And my personal statement did get, there were certain parts of my personal statement that were brought up at every interview, which was very nice because that means they read it, they enjoyed it, it intrigued them. I left them enough for them to ask me during the interview about it. So, so definitely work on it and get advice from people that have gone through residency or even people that don't, because they'll be able to give you great feedback. So don't start that early, don't wait. And then kind of shifting towards like the interview trail in the season, be patient. I know it's really hard when you're waiting and you haven't gotten interviews, they come. But, we talked about the interview skills and how to proceed through these interviews. Don't be afraid. Talk to the other candidates there. I saw some of them over and over again at different programs. Talk to the staff. Be extra nice to the program coordinator. They can also make or break your career. Do not be mean to them. They are probably more important than the program director on interview day. Be very nice, be cordial, be respectful. When you have the residents, ask them all your questions, make sure you have all your questions answered. And then very important, and I suggest everyone do this because it's really hard when it comes to rank list time. After each interview day, I would go home, back to my hotel room or at the airport. I would jot down on a piece of paper, it could be your cell phone, it could be a notebook, how I felt that day. Could I see myself at this program with these people? Was I ecstatic? Did I walk out and call my mom and say, hey, this is the program? Or was I like, no, this is not the program? Write down your feelings because you're not going to remember that a few months down the road. Other things I would jot down is with all your interviewers or that you interviewed with, was there something personal you guys talked about? Was there something that will make them remember you? Because it's also I did it, not everyone does it, but thank you letters. And maybe Dr. Kashyap, you can kind of enlighten it. There's, you can send cards, which I did, or you can send emails. But some programs will not accept any of it. And you sending a thank you card is you just being nice. That is not going to help your that's not going to help your application. It's not going to affect it anyway, but it's nice to be able to kind of document a moment that you shared with one of your interviewees. One of mine, we talked about Sudoku puzzles because that was my hobbies and they enjoyed it. So in my note, and I also sent him a Sudoku puzzle, but small, tiny things that don't matter, but write them down the day of when you're done.
And these are genuine things. You talked about it. That's a genuine interest. So this is a personal connection you're making. So absolutely, you can't cook up these things. So if you made a personal connection, absolutely bring it up. And that's what I see in my applications as well. Those candidates stand out because you had that personal connection. And then they are making, they're talking about it or sending a thank you letter. So it doesn't hurt your application if it doesn't help you. So there's no harm in doing that.
Right. So yeah, my biggest thing is You know, because interview season's anywhere from October to February, and there's a lot of gaps. So I would say write down how you feel the day of that interview, good or bad. Good things you liked about the program, bad things, and then when this will come help you when rank list times comes, because you'll know the programs that you want to be at. You'll know the programs you don't want to be at, but the middle kind of get mixed up, and that's where your list will also help you kind of differentiate that.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. Can you summarize them very quickly? What three major points from this interview?
Okay. Start your personal statement early, get a lot of people to look at it and give you feedback. And then and secondly, on your interview days, be cordial with everyone, have fun, be respectful, talk to all the other candidates as well. And then lastly, most importantly, write down your feelings, the good, the bad, the pros and cons of the interview, and what you talked about with each person.
Excellent, excellent. So for our viewers, this is Dr. Navneet Kaur's social media handles: Twitter at NaviKaurMD, Instagram, I think therefore I am, and Fueled by Medicine. Please do follow her, be an Insta follower for her, tweet her, and then try to reach out to her if you have questions, more questions about it. With that, we are very, very thankful for your time. Thank you so much for sharing. We will have you back for your interview questions and answers as well. We really appreciate your time today. And then please follow us, do subscribe to our channel, like and comment. Otherwise, you'll not be notified to these new videos. We upload videos every week, more than once. So we are very glad that Dr. Kaur could join us today, and then we'll have her back again. Thank you so much.
All right, thank you.